going to institute, is it President Buhari, who has been saying he couldn't wait to leave. All of that.
You know, Seun, if I'm being honest, this interim government gist has taken a turn that I didn't see coming, because when the DSS first said that there were thoughts, yes, what came to my mind was El-Rufai's comments. And when El-Rufai suggested that certain people were trying to get in an interim government, it wasn't opposition parties he was talking about. He was talking about people within the presidency, and by extension, APC members, because we know that a lot of them that are around the presidency are actually members of the APC. But now that rhetoric has changed, and it's now being subtly pushed out as if this is the work of people who are discontent with the way that the election went. Right. And that's confusing. So are we still talking about the same plots, or are these two different plots? Did we have a different plot in the case of El-Rufai when he put that out? And is this one a new plot? Because it has taken a turn, and that's making people to believe that there's some mischief in there.
Somewhere.
Yes, I've heard someone who says it's calling a dog a bad name to hang it, because obviously the Labour Party feels, and other parties feel, like there were some inconsistencies in the elections, and they are asking for it to be redone. And maybe the APC feels threatened by that, so they are coming up with all these gimmicks, you know, to discredit the Labour Party, discredit its major people, and then cause a discontent between the people and the Labour Party by this. But at the end of the day, what it is doing is really, really heating up the politics. Everybody is disturbed. Everybody's talking about this. Even the military now is giving comments about interim government. So I feel like that is dangerous, especially if this is concocted, if there is no real basis for this, and this is all just to distract from a point. I feel like it is very dangerous, and we might be heading towards a slippery slope, because you do not know what these actions will precipitate in the future. We should be careful.
Okay, so we'll move into other story, but let's listen to what Dati said. I just a snippet, is 10 seconds. I mean, because there's no time to do all of that.
Of course.
And then what Soyinka also said after that, and then we can look at these two together. So here.
I'm telling you that on the 29th of May, 2023, swear in Tinubu as this result is, you have ended democracy, whoever you are.
Okay. Nearly the totality. Listen,
maybe he just stopped. He said, if you went ahead with the inauguration on 29th of May, going by the result that we have, you have ended democracy. Is that a threat?
It was beyond that. There were other things that he said.
This particular one, I mean, people hampered on ending democracy. Does that,
he didn't say that he will end democracy.
No,
he says
that action will have made a mincemeat of democracy.
Yes.
Isn't that an opinion?
It is. It is, but I don't think that's the part that's getting people agitated. There was a part where he said something about if they go on, it's like truncating democracy or something. This is the first way he put it, and then he rephrased it and hammered on it.
He said it about 3 or 4 times in that interview. Now, this is how Soyinka actually responded to him.
The viewer asked him several times. He said, what will you do if the Supreme Court judgment is against you? If the interpretation which you are offering about the constitutional aspect of this election, if it is against that of the Supreme Court and they find against you. And he kept saying, no, it's not even open to analysis. Because the word says and it's very clear. And the Supreme Court, in its wisdom, had better give this, in other words, his interpretation. I mean, this is trying to dictate to the supreme arbiter of the nation. Whatever you think of the Supreme Court, it is an institution we all revert to sooner or later. If not today, then tomorrow. If not about this election, maybe about the next election. But Dati kept saying, no, the Supreme Court has got, in its wisdom, to agree with me. That is what is known as fascistic language. It is not acceptable. And for me, it alienates people. It alienates even supporters. I know this for a fact. People come to me, you know how I relate to young people. I relate to those who have found certain problems with the spokespeople of this particular movement. I'm not interested in the other ones. Everybody knows the other movements. But there's a new boy on the block, as the expression stays. And many of us have been waiting for that new kid on the block. And so we have a stake in it. And wherever it seems to be going wrong, we're going to tell the truth to that new kid and the supporters who also say they have allied thinking with us, that's all. But go and watch that tape all over again. Introduce that tape to any kind of neutral jury, members of whom don't even know anything about the Nigerian situation. Talk about body language, talk about vocal language, talk about the actual text of Dati's pronouncement. This is intimidation, and it's not acceptable. I refuse to be part of that kind of language.
That was Oluwaseun actually. And I guess it was analyzing how Dati interpreted Section 137 of the Constitution that talked about Abuja's status and, that
winning
part.
Abuja during the elections.
So yes. I mean, Dati insisted that the interpretation that the Supreme Court, that the Constitution has, as far as he was concerned, is that you
Abuja has a special status.
You must have 25%, from Abuja. But I think, in my opinion, that when we talk about things, particularly people who are involved in this litigation, I guess this is what they call sub judice. We shouldn't be talking about how the Supreme Court should interpret that part. We should probably be saying we'll leave it to the wisdom of the judges to interpret, because that's their job, not ours, to interpret what the Constitution. We know in English language what it said, but the way they will interpret it alongside other part of the Constitution may not be what we can do. And I think those who have case in court should stop making comments about that particular case.
If there's one thing that this whole thing throws up is why you should be cautious about the things you say and how you say it. Granted, worse things have been said after elections this country.
Of course.
And we did not even see reactions that come close as this.
Yes.
Some people have said maybe it's because then we had a gentleman as the president. The people who were in his handlers were calmer than the set of people we have around the current president, and they were not as dramatic. But it is no doubt that worse things have been said. And I think it's important to put that out there, that certain people, political players that we know, have said worse things after elections in the past. But it doesn't mean that everybody should throw caution to the wind. Before now, you could argue that Obi and his vice have a good case in court. They stand a chance. At least they are in court, and only God knows, it could go anyway. But when you now complicate your case by the things that you say, it takes away from the goodwill that you probably already enjoy.
And that was what Jonica was saying.
Yes, so if a little caution, a little decorum, would go a long way, and it will not alienate you. Certain people who used to support them, are now very critical of Dati and his comments. You put that together with the audio that leaked, even though Obi said it was fake, and you see that some people really are questioning their alliance. Like, okay, is this the place to be? Did we make a mistake? What? It's just caution, people being careful. You can be aggrieved, and I know provocation can push people to do stuff, but considering that people are following you, people are listening, it's a very touchy time in our democracy. It wouldn't hurt to just have a little caution.
Yeah. But Great. So the issue of the audio television, the audio telephone link, I'm not playing it.
Thank you.
I'm not. Why? No, we're not playing that. So, but my point about it is, I looked at the ethics of releasing that audio. I look at a provision of the Constitution that protects our telephone conversations, our telegraphic communications, the privacy of what I discuss with you on,
behind closed doors.
Exactly. And so, how was this obtained? It's also very important. We can discuss whether it's fake or not, but let's assume that it is true, that the audio is actually factual. I mean, how it was obtained could be a threat to our privacy.
I feel like we can't assume.
I'm just saying, how it was obtained. How was it obtained? Because this was something that just came on the newspaper. I mean, on online newspaper.
If says it is fake, then the what's it now? The chance of it being exposed or gotten illegally is now very slim because it didn't even exist in the first place.
So are we supposed to just believe that because Peter Obi said it's fake, we just believe it? So we believe what Atiku Abubakar said about the SPV, that it was also fake.
Well,
we also believe that it was fake.
But it just adds doubt to it. Now, it's your word against my word, so it makes it, you can choose to believe one way or the other, right? But I feel like if, so you think it is not fake?
No, I'm not thinking. I don't want to think.
So where do you stand then?
Where I'm standing is,
if you want to interrogate how it leaked, it is because you believe that there is some authenticity to it.
I'm saying that it is not cancelling out whether it was true or not. It has to be investigated. It's an allegation. I mean, it's allegedly brought out to say that this was what they discussed. But I'm saying that if it is true that people can tap into our conversations, I mean, that's bad.
I would not be surprised if that...
I'm not surprised. I'm just saying that that's bad. And if that is coming to the public, then there's danger somewhere.
This is not a problem that only us are even battling. Even in America, it's a current issue that's being debated, the privacy of conversations and things like that. But government's own argument always is in favor of national security. Sometimes these things have to happen, right? We do not see that there's a national security issue in this particular... Okay. But with technology, these things happen.
I know. Before we take a break, let's listen to this audio quickly, please.
Okay, there's an audio.
Heavy decline on notice that there is heavy decline on medical brain drain from 24,000 to now, as I speak, we have less than 10,000 doctors in Nigeria. So that is alarming. So I now thought to myself that, okay, let us look at our laws. What is happening? I noticed that, look, the vacuum is that immediately after housemanship, we noticed that most doctors, because of greener pastures, there is a capital flight from Nigeria abroad to UK, America, and all that. Now, government has invested so much money in training these medical doctors. So if you realize, if they can now take advantage of our situation, okay, and now open their doors, because just recently in 2020, UK opened healthcare and visa to people. They were all going to UK and US too, and Canada. So what should we do? Should we fold our arms? So now, and I said, okay, maybe to give back to the society, that is to our people, after training you. Yes, we are not saying you cannot go abroad to make your money, but if government has subsidized your tuition, okay, I mean, to the tune of 40 to 150,000, the least we can get from you is that after your housemanship, before you are given full license. Before you are given full license, yes, before you are given full license, at least you can give back to the society within a period of 5 years. So after 5 years, you are free to go. At least you've given back to the society.
Charity, I know you saw this in the news this morning. Yeah, so what do you say to this? My thought, simple, I have a simple thought. I'm torn between agreeing with him absolutely.
Absolutely.
Or otherwise. Okay. So I'm saying I'm torn between agree with him absolutely or not agree with him at all. So now here is my thought. Why did he think that the only way to solve the migration of medical doctors in Nigeria to other country is to simply hold them down by force? Why did he think along that line? That's the first thing that got me thinking. Okay. The second is that did he in all this in this submission that was captured, he didn't even talk about how government is treating these workers. I mean, if you take our wages, take the wage of a medical doctor in Nigeria and compare it with other countries, maybe there you will understand. Compare the working environment or working condition of these medical doctors, compare the pharmacy where they are to work, compare the laboratories where they are to work, the theater where they are to work, the offices, the equipment they are to work with. Did he think about that rather than thinking of how to force them to stay? So that got me torn.
So to the first issue, and this is not me trying to defend him, I could never. I mean, there's nothing you would say that would defend something like this, but the argument is that taxpayers' monies are used to subsidize the training of doctors. And the truth is, compared to the monies that people pay to get trained to be medical doctors or medical practitioners in Nigeria and other places, there's a wide margin. And that's because, yes, but the standards is not the same. You've just talked about the equipment, the class, the conditions. It's not. We fall very below. But if people have to pay the real cost to study, we know that it will be way above what they're currently paying. So he's coming from the angle of, since government subsidizes your training, government should benefit from your training after you would have gotten, or everything. But the major issue is, why are they leaving? And I feel like that's where the solution should lie.
I thought that the bill to come should be addressing why they're leaving.
Exactly,
rather
and not
than
keeping them
forcing
here.
them to stay.
Because you can force a
horse
to the river. You can't force it to drink, really.
If you give it salt, it would drink.
They would always find other ways to live. And you see, that's the problem of leadership in Nigeria. We don't know how to get to the root cause. Rather, we have these cosmetic solutions that just paper around and try to. But what is the cause?
The issue.
And I've heard people commenting on this story, and a lot of them say these lawmakers easily go out to go and get treatment. Why didn't they make laws to keep themselves here in Nigeria so that they get treatment?
I think so too.
Now, doesn't this go against the right? Because when you say lawmakers should not travel out of the country to get medical treatment, people will usually say that it's their right to go anywhere to get medical attention. So is it not an infringement of the rights of these medical practitioners now that you're trying to force down to stay in Nigeria?
Okay, so we will take calls after these messages. Stay with us.
Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
Alejandra and Raphael's lives turn upside down when he crashes into her car.
It's only fair that he pays me for all the damage he's caused me.
But they fall head over heels when he gets a job at her firm to pay the huge bill.
The good vendor is the one who is capable of seducing, enamoring.
Telemundo presents a brand new romantic comedy, Until Money Do Us Part. Every night at 7 p.m. available on GoTV and DSTV. Stream anytime from the next day on Universal Plus.
Every day for this beautiful month of Ramadan, we dey rise from our domot to answer the call of Allah's blessings wey boku. We dey put food, drinks and other enjoyment for side to receive in heavenly rewards. So, when we gather put with our family dem, make we dey remember to share the little comfort of the season. Vitafoam dey wish you and your family a blessed Ramadan season wey dey filled with love and togetherness. Ramadan Kareem. Vitafoam, the fine art of living.
Ìfẹ́ mi, ẹni lọ́jọ́ ìfúnni lábẹ́rẹ́ wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, pẹ̀lú abẹ́rẹ́ aládàágún fún ìdáàbòbò ara ẹni yìí, a lè ṣeré ìfẹ́ fóṣù mẹ́ta láìsí fòyòyún àìròtẹ́lẹ̀.
Bí báwo?
Máa fa ẹran itan mi, máa sì gàbẹ́rẹ́ yìí sórí itan tí mo fà. Káde máa gbádùn ara wa lọ fóṣù mẹ́ta nìyẹn.
Abẹ́rẹ́ kẹ̀, ṣé èèyàn wà nínú ẹ̀?
Kò séwu ìfẹ́ mi, abẹ́rẹ́ tíntínní ni bí eléyìí.
Àkíkà, ó ti gun kódà ó mìíràn rárá.
Ṣé bí mo sọ fún ẹ?
Bó o bá fẹ́ lábẹ́rẹ́ aládàágún fúngbà àkọ́kọ́, lọ́dọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ ìlera fúngbà ní níyànjú. Fàlàyé nípa àwọn ọ̀nà mìíràn láti bọ́ lọ́wọ́ oyún àìròtẹ́lẹ̀. Tẹ ẹ̀rìn èjì ọ̀kan lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lórí Airtel. Kó o dẹ̀ tẹ ọgbọ̀n tàbí kó o lọ sórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára discoveryourpower.org. Ìpolówó yìí wá látọwọ́ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tó ń bójútó ìlera ẹbí, Society for Family Health, pẹ̀lú iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń bójútó ètò ìlera.
Oriflame Cynthia! That's me! Oriflame Cynthia! I thought you jackpot. Me? Unless you meant jackpot to go and place my 100 BP Oriflame order for this month. Abi, who no one grab brand new ride?
Brand new ride?
Yes! The Oriflame Grab Your Ride promo is here! And this is great news for everyone. Join Oriflame and buy products worth at least 100 BP monthly for 3 months from April 1st to June 30th. Then you stand a chance to win a brand new Hyundai Creta SUV! Oh, and that's not all. There's a whopping 100 million naira worth of major and guaranteed prizes to be won. In case you were wondering, 100 BP is simply 35,000 naira and you can buy to use or sell at good profits. So join Oriflame today to participate. Draw date is July 8th, 2023. The more you buy, the more raffle tickets you get and the more prizes you win.
Wait for me. Let's jackpot to Oriflame together.
See Oriflame Instagram and the website for details. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is approved by all promo regulatory authorities. Oriflame, changing lives.
It's Ramadan. Come on board. Let's go on a tour to the top restaurants where you can enjoy the best of the season. First stop is Charity Cafe. Here, the currency is sharing, so keep giving. Next stop is Kindness Bistro. Be the kindest you can be. Last but not the least, make a stop by at Forgiveness Drive-Thru and let go of every beef. And at Sahur and Iftar, bring it home with the goodness of great tasting meals with Noor. This Ramadan, don't just eat for good. Share the good and be the good. Noor, eat for good.
Hey, Omo! See package! This is what I call full house.
Yes, sir. That's me. I full...
Who's talking about you? I'm talking about this Peak Yogurt Drink Full House pack in your hand.
Introducing the Peak Yogurt Drink 1 liter Full House pack with more refreshment, which contains fresh cow milk. Share and enjoy full house goodness filled with essential vitamins and minerals. Peak. Reach for your peak.
Ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi, ẹ má jẹ́ kó wo náírà titun àti àìlègbówó yọ yín lẹ́nu. Hope wà lórí fóònù rẹ. Ìfẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta náírà wà ńlẹ̀. Torí náà, tẹ́ bá fẹ́ fowó ránṣẹ́ sí màmá ńlé àbí láti ra owó ìpè fún Àbíkẹ́ láti fún oníbàárà lówó àbí tó oníbàárà bá fẹ́ fún yín lówó.
Hope wà lórí fóònù rẹ. Ìfẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta náírà wà ńlẹ̀.
Èèyàn mi, nọ́mbà fóònù rẹ ní nọ́mbà káàdì ATM àti nọ́mbà àkáǹtì rẹ o.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, gbádùn ayé ìrọ̀rùn pẹ̀lú Hope Wallet. Tẹ *569*9# lórí fóònù rẹ kó o sì yan Open Wallet. Tẹ àlàyé nípa ara rẹ síbẹ̀. Ló bá tán, o ti ṣí àpò ìṣúná rẹ nìyẹn. Hope PS Bank á wá fún ẹ ní ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ta náírà ṣáńgílítì. Hope àṣeyọrí. Hope Bank nígbà gbogbo.
You dey dull yourself this afternoon. You dey dull yourself this afternoon. You dey dull yourself this afternoon. No allow any dulling for your life, oh. Enjoy that your break moment with 5 Alive Poppy. Now correct enjoyment wey go cool your body, come ginger am join. Make you use the enjoyment wey dey inside 5 Alive Poppy take hold your side. E dey available for different delicious flavors. 5 Alive Poppy, filled with life.
Ìfẹ́ mi, ẹni lọ́jọ́ ìfúnni lábẹ́rẹ́ wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, pẹ̀lú abẹ́rẹ́ aládàágún fún ìdáàbòbò ara ẹni yìí, a lè ṣeré ìfẹ́ fóṣù mẹ́ta láìsí fòyòyún àìròtẹ́lẹ̀.
Bí báwo?
Máa fa ẹran itan mi, máa sì gàbẹ́rẹ́ yìí sórí itan tí mo fà. Káde máa gbádùn ara wa lọ fóṣù mẹ́ta nìyẹn.
Abẹ́rẹ́ kẹ̀, ṣé èèyàn wà nínú ẹ̀?
Kò séwu ìfẹ́ mi, abẹ́rẹ́ tíntínní ni bí eléyìí.
Àkíkà, ó ti gun kódà ó mìíràn rárá.
Ṣé bí mo sọ fún ẹ?
Bó o bá fẹ́ lábẹ́rẹ́ aládàágún fúngbà àkọ́kọ́, lọ́dọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ ìlera fúngbà ní níyànjú. Fàlàyé nípa àwọn ọ̀nà mìíràn láti bọ́ lọ́wọ́ oyún àìròtẹ́lẹ̀. Tẹ ẹ̀rìn èjì ọ̀kan lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lórí Airtel. Kó o dẹ̀ tẹ ọgbọ̀n tàbí kó o lọ sórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára discoveryourpower.org. Ìpolówó yìí wá látọwọ́ àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tó ń bójútó ìlera ẹbí, Society for Family Health, pẹ̀lú iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń bójútó ètò ìlera.
Morning Splash. Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
Thank you for being there. So we've got just limited time to go. We'll take your calls right away, as I said. Don't forget the last issue, maybe just in 2 minutes to deal with the issue, $800 million for 10 million households comprising 50 million people. And I tried to do a breakdown of that amount of money yesterday with something Cable did. I don't know if you saw it, but just quickly see if I can. Yeah, and it's here. And the Cable says that if you are doing $800 million to 50 million Nigerians as palliative for petrol subsidy removal, that will be $800 million divided by 50 million Nigerians, which will be equals to $16 per person. And if we go to the black market to do the conversion, you probably will have 11,840 naira for one person. And if you do the CBN rate at 416 naira to $1, you have 7,360 naira for a person.
Is that for a week or for a year or for a month? For how long will that be? You know, because
we have divided the money. The money is $800 million. We have divided it among these people just once.
So that's for a year then.
That's all you get. I mean, here's a graphic. Maybe
yes,
you want to see.
I see that, but you know, I feel exhausted with this Nigeria and our approach to handling things, right? Oftentimes, it's been said that removal of subsidy would be very painful for Nigerians if we do not have functional refineries. And we know that our refineries have not worked optimally, and it is because it needs monies. In some places, it needs to be overhauled. So why are we not using this money for something that would benefit a larger amount of people for a longer period of time? Someone said, and I totally agree, that this is tantamount to giving a person a fish as against teaching a person how to fish. And that is even if the register were something that people believe in. A lot of people don't believe in that register that this administration keeps quoting. How did the names of the people on that register get collated? Are you saying that there are vulnerable people living in the city centers? Because I've never interacted with any poor person whose name is on that list. So where are the people whose name? It's just, I feel, again, priority. And it comes down to the type of leadership that we have been unfortunately burdened with, really.
Burdened is that word. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
My name is Akinola.
Welcome,
I want to just chip in word concerning what Gati Ahmed said, that according to what you played, the audio. You see, in the latter part of the audio, saying that if the tears were in Tinubu, then that would signal, the president, that would signal the end of the country. We should look beyond what he said ordinarily. I hope these people, they are not planning, they are not associating with the military to take over, to truncate this nascent democracy. You see, he's saying it with all confidence. So he knows what he's saying. I don't know, it's because we are not equal in this country. If it were in another region, they would have arrested that person. The DSA would have arrested him to come and explain what he meant by that. I think that would require the military to come on here to say they are not what is it called? Telling government and all the rest.
All right.
What he said is weighty.
Thank you.
You need to look beyond ordinary.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see who's here. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
You're live on air already, and I couldn't hear anything coming from you. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Steve from here.
Hi,
welcome,
Steve.
Steve. 1 minute. Yes.
I want to talk about this medical doctor. You know how much also governments are spending on medical doctors now. You hear from them. You have to sign an agreement. It is only in Nigeria that the resident doctors are being paid and taken for. After that, the JAPA, they have to sign an agreement. If they don't want, they should go to private industry where they pay millions of naira. That's number one. About that COB, he denied that the audio is not what he said. But Bishop Oyedepo has not said anything. Bishop Oyedepo should stop, whether it is true or not. You are talking about Atiku. Atiku is not saying anything. We should be very careful when we are making conversation, so that what we cannot say outside, we should not say in private things. Government are monitoring all these people's phones.
All right, Steve. Thank
you, Steve. I mean, should government be monitoring my private conversation?
We've got Kole Omole on Facebook. He says, good morning. I think we should discuss what our lawmakers are not saying. They maintain a posture of government not ever being able to put in place measures that would make healthcare workers want to stay in Nigeria. And what about those healthcare workers trained in private universities who didn't enjoy this subsidized training? I don't think it covers them.
No.
They cannot legislate over someone that they did not pay for now. So.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. What's the name where you're calling us from? Anthony. Welcome, Anthony.
Sorry, I would address this. Baba Obasanjo's letter to the British government.
Yeah, of course, you can talk about it. Yes.
It's the government of one of the oldest paid leaders we have in this country. God is dealing with one by one. Baba Obasanjo, you know the country is dealing with. I bet you if Baba Obasanjo contravened the law of UK, they will jail Baba Obasanjo. Those ones believe that nobody is above law. Nobody. When you are in a civilized society, where there is order, you are not more than you have to follow the law. You have to follow the law. If you contravene, no matter who you are, you will play the music. These are the type of the country that wants to develop, that wants to be great. We are put Nigeria as a backyard, a community here, you manipulate, you compromise. This is where it has taken us to.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Anthony. Anthony, don't resort to personal, attacks. Thank you. You have made your point. But I think that the crux of that letter, I read the letter, the crux of that letter is to appeal to the sentiment of the judges to temper justice with mercy. It's just a request. And
Anthony feels that he should not be asking anything, that he should allow him to face the consequence of what he has done.
That's an old man.
Tamper justice with mercy is what has brought us to the situation we are here in Nigeria.
That's an old man talking. I mean, you can't stop an old man. I mean, in fact, at the book launch 2 days ago, he said, I'm an old man and I will not stop talking. And I will talk. And he said, I will talk my truth. I will talk. You can't stop.
I mean, that's one thing about former President Obasanjo.
He said, I'm a letter writer.
To him. He does what he wants.
He said, I'm a letter man.
Regardless of whatever criticism might follow, and he's been consistent with that.
Let him talk.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's take messages.
Hello.
Oluwaseun, this is feedback. You said the letter the boy is another person's child. If Obasanjo and Nkrumah have developed a good hospital in Nigeria, are they going to do that? If it's you and I that happens, we should be in jail by now. But Obasanjo is asking you should go and sit down.
He's resting in his home.
We can't take any more calls, but let me quickly run through the messages. Timothy Okari says, good morning, Shu and Chacha. Government in power forms interim government, not opposition. APC should check themselves in that regard. It seems some of them have lost track of the happenings in their midst. While Ajufosoni Chris says, the so-called training doctors get in Nigeria is substandard. When they travel out, they have to pass the host country's board exam to be licensed. Waika Adiojo says, good morning, Shehu and Chacha. It's somewhat queerish to hear what the National Assembly is forcing medical doctors to stay back for 5 years. It is not the number of same doctors that Ngige said was too... Okay, is it not the number of same doctors that Ngige said was too much, that they should go if they wish?
Yes, so wish. I remember Kayode Ojo that statement. I remember very well. I mean...
It is the same doctor, so... Kayode.
And then we want to force them to stay. I mean, thank you, Kayode Ojo, for your comment. We thank you, everyone, for being part of this conversation. I wish you a wonderful Good Friday and Easter celebration. Take it easy on the chicken. If you can afford them.
Well, happy holidays. We hope that we all stay safe and that we enjoy this season. My name is Charity Jerome.
And I'm Oluwaseun Akinola. May Nigeria survive.
Morning Splash. Morning Splash.
Morning Splash.
As a leader man, I want a bigger meat. What's not talk your body interpret. I shoot it short, I don't know where you reach. I never chop, I wait till I need a chocolate, chocolate.
Hey, people, you already know who it is. It's to me, aka the chocolatey Cho-Cho. I'm not a chocolate the song is talking about, but hey, it's not a bad thing to call myself that, right? Exactly. I mean, chocolate is loved by so many